So you can sort of split them at the top. How's that?
Yep.
Very good.
Check, too.
You look like a captain there, Captain. And welcome aboard Fliy A Jet 556.
Thank you.
Here we are sitting at Auckland International Terminal. Did you get your duty free?
We're going to get
Oh, you left it in the
back.
Oh, okay.
Not before.
I think we're going back domestic.
Oh,
I suppose we can come back here. No, we'll come back
Right.
here. Yeah, because you don't want to leave that one on.
we'll have a Coke.
Now, Q&H is wrong. It should be. You know how to set the Q&H?
No.
1013 on here. So see here down here is Q&H.
Yep.
That's the tower would give us the Q&H. 1013 on that there. 1013.
3.
Yep. And you'll see when it's 1013, here you go, it gives us about 30 feet, which is the datum of Auckland International.
Right.
Alrighty, I've loaded the flight management computer, and as you see we're going to take off on flaps 5 and there are our B speeds. Okay, so, oh yep, the engineer wants us to get going. Okay mate, we're ready. He's about to push us back. He's just given us a thumbs up. So we need to put a few switches in the right place. Here's our fuel, and we've loaded 8 tonne. I hope you're okay with that.
That should be enough.
$2,000 a tonne, that's all.
You're paying.
No, Captain always pays. Captain's credit card's better than mine. So we need to put 4 fuel pumps on, please. And you'll see as soon as they go on, slowly the pump lights go up. Up here we put the hydraulics on. The engineer's given us the approval to do that. And you can see, yep, put both those,
And that one?
they're both electric. And you can see the pressure coming up now.
Yep.
3,000 psi. That means now we've got flight controls and brakes.
Okay.
This is the air conditioning and pressurization panel. It's all set for start. These are the lights, you know, when you're coming in to land. These are the lights. These are the start switches. The anti-collision light is on. Once you put the anti-collision light on, that red light flashing, nobody else can come near it except the engineer. This is the mode control panel. I'll explain that as we get going, because we're going to do a little bit of autopilot work. And the auto brakes are on RTO. I suppose they should be. There we go. And you know about this. We just need to test the fire handle, so push and hold that to the left. All you're checking is you've got 2 fault lights. And push and hold it to the right. Oh, yes. So, that's a pretty loud bell though, but if we have a fire in the left engine, the right engine, or the APU, you get the bell, so you can't miss it, and one of these handles will light up. Once they're lit, you will be able to pull it, but you can't at the moment. So that means there's a fire.
Is that an extinguisher?
No, the first action is to close down the hydraulics and the electrics from that engine. Rotate it to the right or fire the right bottle, rotate it to the left or fire the left bottle. And hopefully it goes out up
We
there.
don't need that today, do
Oh, you never know. You've got to be prepared for anything as a captain. Now these are communications. So this is nav 1 com 1, and this is nav 2 com 2. Rudder trim, rudder race reducer, and TCAS, weather radar, and cargo fire. Are you all set, Captain?
we? Yes.
Right, just the brakes are released. I'll just give Tara a call. Auckland Tower, Fliy A Jet 556, got 140 on board, request clearance to push and start. Fliy A Jet 556, you can push and start. That was me, actually.
Really?
That was me. Right.
Would never have guessed.
Well, we had a little guy doing it, but he quit on us because we didn't feed him. Anyway, so we're clear to push and start. The engineer will come up and push us in a minute. What we need to do is start the right engine. So to start the engine, all you do is gently push that up and push it into the ground position. That's it. You should be able to let that go now. All you've done is open up the start valve. Now, there's a big pipe that goes from the APU and the tail to both engines. So it's high volume, not high pressure. And all it's doing is spinning up the engine at the moment.
Okay.
When that gets to 25%, just pull the fuel control switch out and put it to the top. There it is, coming up. 25%, yeah, you're close enough. Now keep your hand on it, because now we're getting fuel flow, oil pressure, EGT. Watch the EGT. Every second it goes above that red line is $1 million.
So what do I press when it gets?
So if it did race away, all you do is take away the fuel.
Okay.
That valve there's So you've got your hand on it so you don't get confused because you've only got a nanosecond, you know. Sometimes it can run, we could do that if you want, I could show you. Starter cuts out at 55% N1, and as soon as that red line goes, it's a good start. Here it is. You weren't paying attention, Captain.
No, I was looking out the window.
You've got to trust the engineer. It is quite a toughie, but they've got the same responsibility as us at the moment. Because that red line's gone, it's a good start, and we know it's a good start by going 2, 4, 6.
Okay,
Roughly.
yeah, yep.
Go ahead and start the left engine, please, Captain. You know when you put that up?
Hang on, I'm going to do this first.
That's the story. Very good.
Yeah.
So put it right down the bottom. You've got to get it rotating first with the start valve.
So this one
Well done. Yes, it is. That's the left engine. 737 can only start one at a time because of the APU. Okay, you open up the start valve, now air's rushing into the left engine. 777 can, no, 25% you're after.
Oh, sorry.
You can't put it on too early because you've got too much fuel and not enough air. If you put it on too late, too much, longer, you'll burn the starter out. So it's quite a responsibility you got there. High paying job. And then pull it out, raise it to the top, and let it go on the slot. There you go. Now you've got fuel flow, oil pressure, and you're watching the exhaust gas temperature. So when pilots come in here, you see they're really watching that because we can make it go high. Starter cuts out at 55%. That's N2. You know what N2 is?
No.
Turbine. This is saying the turbine, there's two cores of the engine, turbine and the compressor.
Okay.
And the compressor is the front bit, you can see, you know, like a propeller. There you go, red line's gone, that's a good start.
Yep.
So come up the top now, push both these generator switches down.
Together?
Yep. Oh, you can one at a time or whatever. Now the APU is just idling in the tail. We can let it idle or we can turn it off. $100 an hour to run it, that's all.
So we turn it off.
And there we go, we turned off with that switch. Very good. Up here we put the probe heat on. You know, there's probes outside the aeroplane for airspeed.
Oh, yep.
We heat them up.
It's like pitot tubes.
Pitot tube, yeah, pitot tubes, yeah. So those two switches go down. I'll put these continuous ignition, and you push the recall. Just push that and let it go. Oop. Oh, flight controls. Oh, let's test the flight controls now, because obviously there's a problem. Why is there? Oh, something's wrong. What's wrong? Don't know. Oh no, off schedule descent now, I think. I didn't fix up the air conditioning. Try pushing that again. Ah, yeah, we've cleared it. Thank goodness. Flight controls have been a problem. And now we're down to, oh, so we got to, you push the, we sort of saw that. But if we've left something off and you push the master caution again,
Wouldn't work.
yeah, it comes on, and you look over here, anti-ice, look at the anti-ice panel, it's failed with the switches off. If this failed with the switch on, we'd have to get the quick reference handbook out, and it just means we couldn't fly in icing conditions, basically. Now, you just have to select the flaps to 5, so it's just a light little lever, all skill to get it to the 5, no strength, just under the gate. Very nice, very good. These gates, conspiracy stuff, but Boeing obviously put them in here because there was a crash. And you can understand, landing here on 2 engines, if you do a missed approach, you can't go past 15.
Yep.
If you're doing a landing with 1 engine, you land with 15, you can't go through 1 if you're doing a missed approach. And if you did, you just don't have the lift and you just stall. Okay, oh, you're ready to taxi, Captain.
Yes, we are.
And Auckland Tower, Fliy A Jet 556 taxi. Fliy A Jet 556, taxi holding point runway 05. Runway 05. Right, very good. So, feet on the rudder pedals, just a little bit of thrust, probably 2 centimetres. See this yellow line?
Yep.
Coming? We're going to follow that. It comes out hard right, actually. Oh, we'll leave that up. That's it. Round to the right. Hard right. Not this line, there's another yellow line round further around on my right.
So coming right around?
Right around, yep. Don't go on that grey stuff there. It's don't know how tough that concrete is.
Oop, don't use that
Keep
yet.
coming around to this yellow line. There we go, and straight ahead there, and then we'll turn right. Oh, I've got Air New Zealand at the holding point. That's all right. Very nice tacks, very smooth.
Quite sensitive, aren't they?
They are. Hardest thing to do with an aeroplane is the tack set on the road. Because the passengers don't want to hear the thrust going up and down, you know, they get a bit concerned, so you've done it well. That's nice. And we'll take the second left, which is taxiway 9. Okay, well, pilots, you look like you're very experienced. Well, I know you're very experienced. You do the before takeoff checks on the run, so you just ask for the before takeoff checks.
Before takeoff checks?
Recall. And you can push that with one of the spare hands and say,
Check.
flight controls. Yep, you're checking here. Look, elevator is working, and then aileron. And you say,
Flight controls check.
very good. And we get rid of that completely for takeoff. We're taking the next left, Captain. Flaps.
Flaps 5.
5 on the gauge and a green light.
5, 5, 5, and check.
Very good. And I'll just hold the checks while you go around the corner. And Fliy A Jet 556 is ready. Oh, Fliy A Jet 556, you're cleared takeoff. Cleared takeoff, Fliy A Jet 556. We're cleared takeoff, Captain. So the strobes are on, and it's all clear on the right. We'll line up on the runway and just hold for a second. At Fliy A Jet 556, we're just going to hold for about 1 minute on the runway. Is that all right?
Do I stop here?
Approved. No, we're cleared onto the runway, so
Okay.
we'll turn left onto the runway.
Left.
Yep.
Oops, what am I doing?
Just with our
Running pedals.
feet, Captain. Very nice. And you looked at the windsock, of course, just as we turned onto.
Of course I did.
Good. And you can see the flag flying over there. It looks like it's about a 5-knot breeze. There we go. And just park the brakes. So you just gently pull this one up. Yeah, there's brakes on the toes, but that's very nice. Very nice. See the flag fluttering over there? The main flag at the all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's giving us about 5 knots. Now we're not quite there. The stab trim. So now this is crucial. You want it at 5 units. So just push it up just a little bit. Those two trims. Yeah, that's it. Push them up. Bit more. See the trim wheel. These are manual trim wheels. Hold it. Push it up and hold it a little bit more. Yeah, very nice. 5. So you're always trimming all the time if you're flying into neutral. Cockpit door. We don't need to be strapped in. Can you just hold your seat just for the takeoff? Just hold it really tight. We don't want you coming through the window if we crash, do we? Okay. Are you there? Okay, thank you. What's that light? I've left that light on that little thing there. Let me turn that light off.
Now we know who you are.
No, it's the captain's side. Okay, Captain, we are cleared for takeoff. And so everybody's strapped in. Takeoff brief. As we go down the runway, I'll say V1133, and then I'll say rotate.
Yes.
And the V2 143, that's single engine best angle climb speed. So if we have an engine failure, that's the speed we'll come back to. I'll help you with that if we have one of those.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yep.
The start switches are continuous and the transponder is on. Are you all set?
Roger.
We are clear to take off. Let's release the brakes. Release the brakes. And arm the auto thrust arm switch. Yep, that's it. See there's arm over there, ARM
Yep.
on the FMA. That means the auto thrust is armed. To activate the auto thrust, all you do is just push that little switch.
Righto.
It's called the toga, take off, go round.
Okay.
And keep it straight with your feet, and we're off. No, you just need to push toga.
I've said it. Don't need to touch
don't-
the throttles.
You just guide them, you just have your hand on them, just in case you reject the takeoff. As the captain, you
Oh,
keep
so
them on.
away they go.
Yeah. And thruster set. Keep it straight down the centre line. Thruster set, 90 knots. Confirmed on your airspeed indicator and mine. Very nice. And there's V1 and rotate. Up to that 15 degrees. That's 12 degrees there at the moment. Just a little bit higher. There's 15 right now. Positive climb.
Yep, gear up.
Well done. Wheels are coming up, Captain. We don't have the heading bug right there. And I'll give you a bit of weather and tickers. So you see we're going through 9,000 feet. We're not accelerating the moment because you're up at 20 degrees, just a little bit high. So if you lower it down, we're not going to go too much higher, so let's lower it down and try and stay at 2,000 feet. And you happy for the flaps to come up, Captain?
Yes, thank you. Flaps
Flaps
up.
are up. And the speed is one. I'll bug the auto throttle at 210 knots. And when you're ready, start a left-hand turn. And we're going to fly over the city. So bank it over as much as you can, looking out, so push forward a little bit so you can see the horizon. And then keep banking it. Keep banking over, and it'll have a soft warning for you. Keep going. So you're at 20 degrees now, now you're at 25. Pilots will turn it at 25 to 30 degrees, but we want to get it about 35 degrees. Keep going. A bit more, that's 30 degrees.
Ah,
Very good. And there's 35, a little bit more. Here the bank angle.
yep.
So that's sort of the limit for passenger safety and comfort. But it's no problem for the aeroplane. But it feels, well, yeah, it feels uncomfortable at the start, but you get used to that. Okay, aiming for Sky Tower. Well, not aiming for it, but we're heading toward it. I should say heading towards it. Anytime we get a master caution, Captain, you should just scream out, master caution.
Oh, master caution.
It's just off-schedule descent. Somebody didn't set this. Oh, it's at 10,000. I'll put it
I'm
at...
at 1,600, so do I need to climb?
Yeah, no, well, no, let's go down. Over Sky Tower, we can go down to 500 feet. Only airline in the world. Although we've got no fighters to shoot us down here. So, you got the Sky Tower over on the right here?
Oh, zeroed it over there.
Over there,
Right,
yep.
no, I couldn't see it.
Don't hit it, but go as close as you dare. Just, see, you can't really feel the momentum up here, but when you lower down, you'll see it relative to the ground. And you'd ask for the after takeoff checks.
After takeoff checks?
After takeoff checks are complete, flaps are up. Now we're going to get a lot of warnings. The GPWS is going to go off. And also the throttle, because the wheels are up. It's all safety devices to stop you landing with the wheels up. You're very smooth, Captain. You're very smooth.
How's my flying?
Now, there you got the Sky Tower, so
Yep.
move it around as much as you dare just to feel that momentum. I'm just setting this up for the inbound course for Auckland. So you see, even though you turn it, it keeps going the same way for a while,
Yeah.
for a fraction of a second. There's the first, I'll take the auto thrust out. That horn means you're below 800 feet on the radio altimeter,
Okay.
and the wheels aren't down, so it's protecting you from,
Crashing.
well, you can still land, but with the wheels up it makes a hell of a scraping noise. There we go, that's nice. So feel it, yeah, just that. Open the door, you might be able to hear us going past. Oh, we're a bit far away. Victoria Park's just down there, isn't it? There you go, there's people waving to us though. Look at that. Isn't
Hello.
that nice? Right, there's the harbour bridge. Now start a right-hand turn climb at 3,000 feet heading 040. We're positioning ourselves for the visual approach into Whenuapai. You know how to program Whenuapai, eh?
Oh, sure.
Departure, arrival, and keep going up. ILS 21. There you go. Now you're out of 800 feet. So keep going up to 3,000. The auto thrust will take care of the power. See, this is us. We want to come out here, turn around and go down.
Okay. So we need to come out further.
Yeah. Yeah, well, just round onto a heading of 040 before we do our turn. What are we going? 214. So now I've just given you a continue, you know how you make the intercept course. Approaching 3,000 feet. Straight over Rangitoto. Now try and stay level at 3,000. So push forward. You want about 2 degrees nose up for level flight. Pushing forward really hard. Bring the nose down.
Oh, I see. We're still climbing quite a bit, aren't we?
Yeah, about 2 degrees. This little square box, if you got it about 2 degrees, you'll be level flight. There we go. And when you're ready, start a left-hand turn onto 210. So you want to do it at around, we want to be about 25 to 30 degrees angle bank at 3,000. And I'll give Whenua Power a call. Whenua Pai Tower, good afternoon. Oh, yeah, no, still good morning. Fliy A Jet 556, we're over Browns Bay, joining finals for touch and go. Fliy A Jet 556, you're cleared touch and go, runway 21. Whoop, whoop, pull up. See, we're going down a little fast. Stay at 2,000 now then. The key to it is watching the horizon out the front, keeping the horizon in the middle of the windscreen.
Okay.
That'll give you level flight. Coming around nicely though, you can see you nicely on that turn indicators, nicely on the pink line. Oh,
the dotted line or the hard line?
The dotted line is just the heading bug. See, I'm moving the heading bug. But the hard pink line is the nav track. You got Whenua Pai straight ahead? There's Whenua Pai.
Yep.
So you're coming around. We're going quite fast. Can I put the wheels down, Captain?
Yes, you may as well, otherwise we'll land very
That scraping noise thingy comes up, yeah. And the flaps are going down to 10 because we've got 235. And you know about the final speed, flap 30, 143, and we always add 5 onto it. 143 and 5 is 148. There we go. Oh, the speed's coming back nicely. Disregard, I'll put 3,000 for missed approach. Nice. These got varsies on them, so they're not the puppies you're looking at. Sort of look at the perspective of the runway. I think you're slightly low at this point. Slightly. Probably about 100 feet. Nice. So the idea is to line up looking straight down the runway,
yep.
Or what I do is I draw an extended centre line from the runway. And we're ready for landing flap, Captain.
Thank you.
And the landing checklist. Landing gear.
Landing checklist.
Landing gear. You
3
say,
down, check.
Yep, down 3 grains. Flaps. You just say 30.
30.
Very good. 4 landing checks are complete and we are cleared, touch and go. I'm going to take the auto thrust out now. Remember, as you come over the threshold, you're just going to gently close the thrust levers.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. And you're maintaining the speeds. Thrust is speed, pitch is height. Very good. Those varsies are showing you slightly low. It's okay. I'll just turn the landing lights on. I know there's a lot of birds here. I play golf over at the golf course and there's birds all over the place. Now a little bit more thrust, you're going a little slow. It's looking good. And closing the thrust now.
50, 40, 30, 10.
Oh, nicely done. 90% thrust when you're... Oh, that was a little bounce. Here comes the thrust. Short runway, keeping it straight with your feet. V1, rotate. That was very nicely done. Well done. Positive climb.
Gear up.
In the last 6 months I've only seen one other person do it better, but he was 10 years of age.
Bloody kids.
I know. I slapped them around because I thought it's not fair that he's doing it so well. Very good though, that was very nice. And we're climbing up to 3,000 feet. Let's climb to 2,000 actually. Now you know how the flight directors work. Let's put your flight director up, push that one up.
The one?
Yep. Now all you've got to do is put that square box in the crosshairs. Push down.
Right there?
Yep, but push down. So push further, and you'll see the vertical one. Keep going till the vertical one comes up to the box. Keep going. Now you're in the crosshairs. So it's quite difficult because you're actually taking the target to the crosshairs, we're used to taking the crosshairs to the target. Right. Let's see how it goes, and I'll give you flaps 5. So these are the Y-Tex, beautiful Y-Tex. You know how that horn just means you're coming 1,000 feet within 2,000 feet. So yep, stay on that flight director thingy. So you can see here, you've got 2,200, but it's only 1,800 on there.
So should I be at 1,800?
No, we fly on this one here, which is correct. But this is the radio altimeter. So it's pointing straight down. So when we go over the Y-Tex, at this 2,000 feet, that's going to go down to 1,000 probably. This simulator and every aeroplane's got every hill in the world in it. Don't ask me how. But it's got a database of every terrain contour in the world. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
And it's just a little black box. So that's how the GPWS works. Works on the database contained within the aeroplane. So Erebus would never happen now.
No.
And that, I suppose that, unfortunately tragedies bring out new devices to save everybody.
But it stops it happening again, I guess. That's a good thing.
Yeah, thank God. I don't think there'll be any, there's been a couple controlled flights into terrain. Okay, so I'll program us for our arrival into Auckland. So I'll put it over here actually. NZAA. And we're going to do an ILS approach, runway 05 right. And there we go, that's the centre line, and it's 051. So now there you go. Now you can see there's an aeroplane over there, that's TCAS working, this is us.
Okay.
This is 10 miles to there, so we've only got about, 8 miles. So under radar, turn left heading 150. So you'll see the flight director come out to the left. This is how you'd be going into Auckland as a captain, probably wouldn't be north unless you've come from Vanuatu or Fiji. No, we're just coming from Fiji. Got to pull back to keep that little nose on 2,000 feet. In fact, they want us at 3,000 now, Captain, so climb, maintain 3,000 feet. So if you follow the flight director at vert speed, I'll give you 800 feet up. Now you've got to turn right, see how that flight director's turned to the right. Because that'll straighten you on 150. And after taking off from Whanupā, I asked for the after takeoff checks. I put the gear off and the flaps are holding at 5. With the flight director, once you get used to it, it gives you a bigger perspective to look around the flight deck and see what's going on. If you're flying raw data, your whole vision narrows down. Pushing forward quite hard now. Push forward, see that bar's gone to the bottom.
Yep.
Now we've got 110 point, you know how to set up an ILS. 110.3
Sure I do.
inbound 051. So you see it down here, 110.1 inbound 051. I put 051 and 110.3 in the nav there. So if you push approach now, yep, you've got the Vorlock is armed and the glide slope is armed. So when this diamond comes into the middle, you'll be on the centre of the runway, and this diamond comes in the middle, you'll be on the glide path. I'll just straighten you on that, since you're holding a heading of 130, radar would have picked that up. So as soon as we hit the centre of the runway, it's going to turn you left. Your job now is to manage the energy of the aeroplane. At the moment you've got flaps 5. As soon as you see, well, we haven't got that coming at the moment, but as soon as this is in the middle and this is starting to move, the glide path, you call gear down flap 15.
Okay. Does that have to be down on that line down the bottom there?
Yeah, eventually it will be, yeah. Because that's radiating out from the runway.
Okay.
And you're looking at this, there's another aeroplane, so we're nicely ahead of them. You're looking at this is 5 miles, so we've only got 2 miles before we'll be turning left. Oh, it's captured. See, it's captured the ball lock now, so this is starting to make you turn left.
Right.
That's it. So we could be in cloud now. We don't need to see the ground. So you're dropping the nose a little bit on the turn. Just want to pull it back. Pull back quite hard. You can pull back as hard as you like to get onto that flight director. It won't overbank you or overpitch you. Here's the diamond coming into the centre.
Yep.
And this diamond's not quite coming down yet. Now you want to pull back. Pull back. Keep pulling up to that crosshair. That's it. Now you're on the crosshair again. I know it feels like you're going up, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's because you're going slower, the nose is quite high on a jet. You are going up slightly, but you're just coming back to that 3,000 feet. Now you're on the glide path. See the glide path? So
Yep.
you
So
say
gear down.
flap 15.
And flaps 15.
And the speed now comes back to 160 knots. So you just say gear down flap 15, 160 knots, and the auto throttle will do that for you. And you see, look ahead now and then, you see, you
Yep.
puts you right down the runway by following the flight directors.
So just by keeping these lined up.
No, keeping these lined up. Keeping
Okay.
the flight director, because the flight director is picking up the ILS beams from the runway. What's that light gone on again? Ah. Means you can't see outside so well, but never mind. Oh, did you call the tower? I'll call the tower, Captain. And Auckland Tower, Fliy A Jet 556 is finals to land on runway 05. And pulling back. Actually, because you come all the way from Tauranga, we'll do a touch and go. We'll come around and do another circuit, okay?
Okay.
I'll show you how to do a visual circuit. They're quite busy. So we're going to touch down and climb back to 2,000 feet. So we'll leave the speed brakes down and we won't harm the auto brakes. Now you've got the puppies, so let's turn the flight director off. Only look at the puppies. You know how the puppies work?
Yep.
So it's showing we're slightly low. Nose now, Captain. Where are we? Oh, I see. No, you're doing the right thing there. Oh, you don't need me. That's it. Now you've got 2 reds and 2 whites. I'm taking the auto thrust out, so the rest of the flight will be manual thrust. So you're slightly high, but as you get closer to the runway, the 1 dot gets less and less. So at the moment, 1 dot difference is probably 20 feet. Now your 2 reds and 2 whites, nicely done. And the landing flaps down. Yep, hand on the thrust levers. Very good. Speed's a little high, but it's coming back. And the landing gear's down and flaps are 30. We are cleared, touch and go. See how you've gone low again. So it's very sensitive to height. Very nice. Oh, we want 148, don't we? Yeah, 148. So American tells you you're low. That's it. Very, very good. Nicely done. Oh, beautiful. No belts.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Now, 90% thrust again. 90%, keep it straight with your feet. Over to the centre line. Push your right foot a little bit.
Do I push these throttles all the way up?
90. Oh, I'll help you.
Okay.
You'd get, yeah, the co-pilot would set them for you. V1 and rotate. Start a left-hand turn. And we'll leave the wheels and the flaps at 15. You're turning onto a heading of 230, climbing to 2,000 feet. I'll give you this presentation, actually, it makes it look a bit easier. Very nice, and 180 knots. So see if you can maintain 180 knots as well. You're doing very well. There you go, you've got 600 feet to run to 1,000. Probably hands on the thrust levers, just in case, because as you level at 2,000 it will take off. That's bad a description. It will accelerate. Yeah, very nice. You're right on 180 knots at the moment. 2,000 feet, perfect, and 30 degrees angle bank. That's very nice, Phil. Very nice. Oh, it's increasing speed at the moment, so pull the thrust back just a little bit. Bit more. That's the max. Oh, I'll go flaps 5. That's just the max speed for flaps 5. Very good. So we head off down to Manukau Heads. Paralleling with the runway. You're paralleling with the runway.
Yep.
When we go abeam the runway, we'll count for 30 seconds, then turn left and come in. Very good. You have been wasting a lot of your life on your computer. No, that's good flying. A lot of airline pilots can't do this, you know, because it's a lot of elements that are quite different that you're not used to. Maintaining speed, maintaining height, heading. There we go. So we've just gone abeam. I'll start the clock. And we'll count for 30 seconds. Oh, there's another aeroplane coming in, so we'll just go just behind them. Might be Air New Zealand, we don't want to hold them up. It's very nice. So we get the pilots coming in and they're trying to maintain plus or minus 50 feet, plus or minus 10 knots. And that's because they go and get tested in an airline simulator to get the job.
Oh.
And so if they can fly accurately like that, they usually get the job. Okay, start a left-hand turn now on to 051. Just a gentle turn and we should see that aeroplane. Maintain height of 2,000 till you see the runway. And you will have raw data. This time we're going to land. What would you like the auto brakes on?
Yes, please. Yes.
1, 2, 3 or max?
Oh, what do I want them on? Max, please.
Yo! So as soon as you touch down, all the passengers are going to be thrown
Oh,
forward.
no, well, we better be a bit more gentle than that.
Well, yeah, they're all from
There we go.
Tauranga. You might have to. Okay,
You strapped in there, Danny?
you hold the seat for this landing, and the speed brake's on. This time when you close the thrust levers and we're on the runway, you pull up the reverses, just gently. Right. Okay, coming round, you need to tighten that turn and come up a little bit. Just, we're 2 miles behind another airplane, which is perfect. And got the gear down, flat 15, the speed now coming back, I'll help you with that. Speed's coming back to 148. Got the runway?
Yep.
Where's that aeroplane? Just about touching down, I think. Okay, and the flap's going down to 30. And you got the, now you got, I'll get rid of that. Now you got the puppies to show you. I've turned the ILS off. You got the puppies to show you whether you're high or low. So we are slightly low. Nicely done. And you'd have your hand on the thrust to monitor the speed. About yeah, keep your hand on there. 150, I'm just adjusting it for you. That aeroplane's on the runway, I think. There's one white. Nice. I might go 3.
400.
That's very good. And the wheels are down, and I'll just bring it back just slightly for you. Wheels are down, flaps are down, we are cleared to land. And closing the thrust, very good. Not yet, only on the ground you do that. Or else we'll
Approaching. 50, 30, 10.
and checking forward just slightly. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, shivers.
Ah, that was that aeroplane. No, it was a mirage. It wasn't there. There's no such thing as a beach 1900 anyway now.
I closed my eyes.
So did I. I couldn't see that. I didn't see it. And follow the yellow line. Round to the left. That was very good land. Very good. Oh, just with your
Easy.
feet. Just your feet.
That's
Very
right.
good approach and landing. Very, very nice. Liked it. Yes, you've obviously got lots of thousands of hours here, Captain. Now, let's use the tiller to steer. So
This?
just keep your feet neutral and just steer with the tiller. See how you go
Oh,
with that.
wow.
And I will do the after landing checks. And I started the APU, I thought. Lights are off. And we're going to park at International Gate 31, I think it is.
Which is...
Follow the second, go second left here. And through there, and it's the first air bridge you'll see. Very nicely done.
I think the pedals are easier than this thing on the wall.
You get used to the tiller. The tiller is harder, but you get used to it and it becomes more flexible. In a real aeroplane, the tiller can turn through 57 degrees, the rudder pedal's only 7. So you do have to use the tiller. So we go slightly left and then right.
Can I use the pedals?
Yeah, do the pedals. Yeah, let go the tiller if you like, yeah. We've got it so that the rudder pedals do push 57 degrees anyway. And to start a right turn now, you'll be pretty well right. See that yellow line straight ahead? That's the engineer. Yeah, see the engineer? He just jumped into that little tractor there, so he's waiting for us.
Am I supposed to be on that yellow line?
Right on the yellow line, because there's no aeroplane on the right, but it gives you clearance from the air bridge.
Do I use this for the brakes?
Yeah, when you get to that not parallel, what do you call it? Perpendicular line. Yeah, any time now, Captain. Perfect. They'll bring the air bridge over.
Wonderful.
Now, the APU's on the buzz, so we just push those 2 switches down. There we go. That takes the generators off the buzz. At night, you see, if you don't put the APU on, you shut down the engines. It goes dark in the back and you hear these screams. You go, oh, what have we done? Now we can shut down the right engine. And that's how easy it is to shut it down in the air, of course. And the left engine. That was very nice.
Thank you,
That
Peter.
was well flown. You
Fantastic.
showed a lot of skill.
Thank you.
You did.